Welcome to Refocused Radio, man. Once again, we are here today, and man, we have another show lineup for y'all. We have a returning guest. We have Eric McHugh. You know him. You remember him from last time. We talked about Snap. We talked about a lot of stuff. But man, he has a lot more things that he's doing. Not only is he a serial entrepreneur and visionary technologist on a mission to build tools that actually make life better, he's here to cut through the noise. I mean, how many times have you heard something on social media promising you all this stuff, but then you find yourself frustrated and even further lost than you were before? Well, today we're going to try to kind of cut to the chase, like I always been saying, because not only does this guy have an IQ north of 140, he also got the brains to back up that score. So once again, want to bring to the show Eric. Like always, man, thank you for your time. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Really blessed to be here. And honestly, I love your energy. I think this is going to be a great show.
Man, I know we even had a preview that our audience probably would love to pay tickets to watch. But, man, if there's going to be anything like it was in the green room, it's going to be fire. So my first question to start this off, last time we spoke, you're doing a lot of great things, not just realizing yourself as being an entrepreneur and building all these great tools for people to utilize. You have become a bridge between something even deeper and involves AI and data. So kind of explain some of the updates that you're tapping into and what's some of the fun things you're seeing.
Yeah, so I love the way you worded that, because tapping into is the right way to do that, because I'm really just tapping into higher power, regardless of what people think. I believe in God. So I have an inner purpose and I have an outer purpose. And I know we'll loop back to the AI thing and really soon, but I think everyone's inner purpose is the same. And I think everyone's inner purpose is to raise their own level of consciousness, because what happens when you raise your own level of consciousness, you raise the level of consciousness of those around them. So like if one person leaves the show on a better vibe, they go talk to their friends, they go talk to their family, and it raises the vibe around them, and it creates a nice positivity upward spiral. And I think everyone's outer purpose is, how do my natural God-given gifts apply to my inner purpose? And that's why it's so important to follow your authenticity, follow your own curiosity, because I think God gave us talents. And like if people are happiest serving other people, the most logical way to do that is to do what you're best at. What am I best at in the world? I'm the best at being Eric McHugh in the world. So if you try to be Eric McHugh, you can't beat me at being me, because I'm number one in the world. But the flip side, if I try to be you, I can't beat you at being you, because you're number one in the world at being you. And for anyone listening, you're the number one you in the world. So just do that. And then that happened to loop back to AI for me in the form of an AI-powered dating app. So the intention behind dating is, I think human connection is really important for overall human happiness. And I think social media and dating apps have pushed that needle in the wrong direction. So dating is just simply offering an option to rebalance that. So what we do is we auto-generate dating profiles based on a user's digital footprint and their chat history, and create matches based on their digital footprint. So let's say hypothetically, because like what AI is really good at, it's good at analyzing very large sets of data and recognizing patterns within that sets of data. So like, let's say hypothetically, you were to create an account on the app, it give you a bunch of tags, and then those tags would generate your matches. And let's say you match with someone who you really liked, you fall in love, you get married, whatever you're into. And then from there, it can act as a relationship builder. So it can be like, okay, you guys haven't been on a date in 3 months. She's started to listen to this artist on Spotify. She has a concert coming up. That'd be a great date. Or her birthday's coming up. She just added this thing on Pinterest. Could be a great date. Or we're having this specific type of relationship issue. What would you recommend? And what's low-key super powerful about dating is, if you think about like a layer 2 on top of ChatGPT, it's like a layer 2, so it gets all the benefits of that. It's a highly personalized chatting system. So like, I know you're really good at AI, but like, like you've seen people like take a screenshot, like, what should I do in this situation? What's this person doing? They're using AI's advice. So what's happening, and it's better than most people, is like AI knows you. It's learning about you. It knows your preferences. It's giving you an answer when you do that that's based on you. So like really, like let's say I'm talking to a girlfriend, it's like, what's she talking about? It'll give me an answer, but it's based on what I learned about me. So of course I'm like, well, that makes perfect sense, because it's basing it on me. Whereas dating, we take into account both users for that advice section. So like the funny thing is, it didn't even start off like that. Like we didn't even think about that, because they're like, oh, we're just trying to build a matchmaking dating app. But it's something that it turned into. And long term, I view this as a connecting app too. Like imagine this, I moved to a new city. find me 5 guys in my local area or into Muay Thai, into meditation. Bam, finds those 5 guys. I'm a college, and we're talking to colleges right now too, like in California, about, okay, maybe this would be a better way to match dorm mates, because like not everyone matches with the right dorm mate, and that can be kind of a buzzkill, but you can find your perfect dorm mate. But it extends to podcasting, it extends to companies. It really can just find the connections between people and just try to amplify that connection.
It was so interesting. You get mixed signals with people and their opinion on AI, and I totally get that. But one thing I've been noticing is that the more you use it as a tool and not a replacement, the more it just amplifies whatever your state of mind is. So, for example, I kind of told you earlier in the show using ChatGPT and DeepSeek, and I'm noticing those platforms have strengths and weaknesses. Well, I really enjoy using DeepSeek. I kind of gone heavy this month. Then ChatGPT has been like my OG. I've been doing it for ever since everyone's been talking about it. But what's interesting about DeepSeek is for the free version of ChatGPT, which I don't use to pay, but do your thing if you want to do the paid. DeepSeek actually remembers every little thing in the conversation, and it allows you to read what it analyzes. It actually tells you the inflection of its tone, because it says, so-and-so user is saying this and this, and I'm going back to the previous conversation, and pulls out some of the details, and it shows you this in real time. ChatGPT doesn't do that. They might if they hear this episode and watch us online, but it's very interesting because you said the key word, connection, and tying this back to you. That is the difference. AI is just amplifying whatever you're feeling. So if I'm feeling creative, happy, I'm going to have prompts that's going to be amplified, if you will. It can only amplify what you put in. It can never replace your thinking or your creativity. It's basically like the more creative you are with your prompts and with your ideas, the better return is. I can only imagine the same thing will be with your project. The more the person is able to be read, the better results it can probably be, because you're blank. It's going to be like, man, where am I going from here?
Dude, you're exactly right. Because the way I view AI as like a neutral tool. It's just neutral. Like I have this fancy little kuna. I can use it to cut a pizza or do harm. It comes from me as a user. So I'm a good person. I'm going to use it to help people. And the same thing applies to AI. And I think AI is a new form of leverage. Like before, like 50 years ago, the leverage was number of employees. You need employees to get your work done, and you can add value that way. And what replaced employees? That became code. So now people can code, they can multiply their skills and use code to leverage. And then we saw like the rise of developers and the demand for developers and all that good stuff. But with AI, I think that's replacing the coders. So now AI is just going to amplify your own creativity. Because like you said, like AI can never, I don't think it can ever replace humans, because it's not good at creative thinking. It's not good at connections, but it can amplify what you're doing. And I love that, because I truly believe AI is going to unlock a society where people are in abundance. Because if we go back to my original thought of people going back to their authenticity, if people are their authentic, abundant self and they're trying to help people, AI is just going to amplify that. And for the doom and gloom AIers, which don't get me wrong, I totally understand. We've dealt with plenty of them. It's like, no, AI is simply a neutral tool. And like we were talking about earlier, I truly believe the vast majority, like 95% of people on Earth are good people. So if 95% of the people using AI are good people and 95% of the people building AI are good people, then AI is likely to be good for you. And I think that people are pushing the 5% negativity. Like if you go on Twitter, you go on social media, it's like all negativity. That's all by design, because I think everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. So like when you're saying like I'm loving, I'm helpful, I'm hateful, I'm fearful, all you're saying is I'm vibrating at the specific frequency. And just like a radio station, when you turn to that frequency, you get that type of people. So if you're hateful, you get hateful people. But if you're loving and you're trying to help people, you get those type of people in your life. So I think AI is going to help push that forward. And I think that's honestly why you attract so many good guests, dude. It's because like, I know that I know that I know that you have really good energy, which is why you attract really good guests, because you're on that good frequency. And I think AI is just going to pick up on that.
You got to double down on what you just said about, because one thing I hear and I see when you talk about attracting the right people or attracting the right things versus when you focus and zero in on the negative spaces or things or situations. Here's what's clear. When you take the time and energy to amplify what is negative in your life, then you miss out on seeing and recognizing the positive things in your life. So, for example, if I'm grinding it out, at the workplace, corporate world, I can be just like everybody else and say, woe is me. I'm in this dead space and this is so hard. This is so tragic. But yeah, we still clock in and clock out. Why? So when we can flip the script and say, okay, I didn't have a great day. Okay, what's new? There's a lot of people who don't have great days. If you can say, I didn't have a great day, but I'm going to choose to focus on this thing that's going to make me better. It's two different ways you end up living your life at that point. You either become the person that looks at problems as a warning sign of things that have been neglected, maybe, and then you get better and you grow from that experience, because instead of blaming every single body and listening to all these smart gurus that I put air quotes on, because so many people have so many things to say and they label themselves as experts. If you can do the opposite and say, time out, pause, let's go back. What am I doing that's causing this issue? Or what am I not understanding and have a lack of knowledge that is preventing me to grow and get better? So connection, all that to land the spaceship is part of the process of you also observing yourself and how you navigate in this world. Because too many times we put the keys in other people's hands and we think that they're going to give us the answers. They don't even have the answers in their life. What makes you think that they're going to have the answers to your life? So not trying to make this spiritually deep, but that's what I want to say, because if we're not careful, we focus on the wrong things, and those things keep getting amplified, and we wonder why we're so angry or we're so frustrated. What are you watching? What are you listening to? How are you seeing yourself? Because how you see yourself, who cares if people don't see that? Because they're not you. You think Michael Jordan cared if someone thought he wasn't a great basketball player? He laughed.
Dude, I think you touch on I love listening to you talk, because you touch on so many important points. And like what you're talking about, like you're in your world, the way to deal with that is, what you have to do is you have to accept, because if you're fighting it, the problem is going to persist. You accept, you redirect, and then you act. And I personally believe in God or creator, so I'm just going to use that thing. It's like the whole point is self-knowledge. And if you don't learn your lesson, what's going to happen if you don't learn your lesson? The God or the creator of the universe, whatever he's going to call it, he's going to keep sending you that same lesson until you learn that lesson. So it behooves you to learn that lesson quicker. And to your point of Michael Jackson, yeah, it's like, who cares what everyone thinks? Really, I believe that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. So how people view me is really just how I view myself. If I'm like, let's say if I want you to like me and think I'm an awesome person, how do I do this? It's like a mirror. I can't force a mirror to think I'm an awesome person. I just have to view myself as an awesome person, and then you'll think of me as an awesome person. And most people try to change like the mirror. They try to change the outer world. It's like, no, that doesn't work. You have to change the inner world first, and the outer world simply reflects on that. And again, like I think you also mentioned something about thoughts, which I think is really important, because thoughts, every single thing that exists in this world, like my phone, this radio station, this podcast, it started as a thought, and thoughts have literal weight. So if you're feeding negative thoughts, those thoughts eventually grow into the physical world. So like, to get like slightly spiritual, I think there are three different realms. I think there's a spiritual realm, there's the mental realm, and then there's a physical realm. Whereas people try to change the physical realm, like they're trying to change your circumstances, but no, it starts with your thoughts. You change your thoughts, then your physical realm changes after that.
I heard someone say, and by the way, listen to Refocused Radio and watching us online, talking to Eric McHugh. I heard someone say that, just to kind of piggyback what you just said about thoughts, is that our thoughts is like the soil. And if we don't nurture that right, then all the emotions we go through, whether it's good or bad, it kind of depends on the soil. Like that's like the base. That's like the important part of the whole equation, if you will. So instead of having all this a lot to say but not saying anything, it's like, okay, let's get to the root issue. What's going on? Because, all right, for example, if you're hungry and you want something to eat, are you going to listen to someone telling you where you should go? Or are you going to go where you want to go? You're going to go where you want to go. Like, I don't care who it is. It can be XYZ celebrity and say, you got to go here. Man, if you're craving some chicken or some steak and your least favorite food is broccoli, come on, audience. Do you really think you're going to listen to someone that's trying to convince you to eat broccoli? Like, maybe you need a wake-up call and eat better and eat healthier. That's one thing. But my point is, when you know you want something, do it. Because anybody who says, oh, I'm going to take the high road and I'm going to get broccoli. Really? Not knocking broccoli. I'm just trying to make a point. When you know you want something, you have to just do it. It's just that simple. Now, is there a time and place for eating healthy? Yeah, but too much of anything is nothing. Because if you're too hyper on eating healthy, then you never enjoy anything because you're just all about this. Now, I'm not saying you eat junk food. I'm not saying that is the answer to the problems of health. I'm not saying that at all. But I am saying you do have to have some kind of balance. You can't listen to everybody on the outside is telling you. Now, if they're a doctor and they actually get paid to do what they do and they give you some advice, yeah, do that. Disclaimer, I'm not telling anybody how to eat. But what's your opinion on what I just said? Because I feel like if we get caught up and learn about what everybody else is saying is the right way to live your life and enjoy life, we get in that weird place where we are just in a competition of echo chambers.
And I completely believe in the theory of just do it, because I think there are real desires and I think there are program desires. I think if you're actually, and again, like, we'll use us as an example. Like, this dating app is one of my real desires. I know it's a real desire because I'm doing it and I love every day of it. I know this podcast of yours is a real desire because you're doing it and you seem to love every day of it. You're meeting great people and you're having great results and you're going to have so much success that I'm really happy for you. So those are real desires. And how do you find out your real desires? Is you have to start doing it. Otherwise, you would have never known that. Imagine I never started the app. Imagine you never started the podcast. We would have never known. And on top of that, there are real desires and there are program desires. Because like you said, like everyone, all social media, everyone's trying to program people to get everything. And if you, again, like, how do you know it's program desire? You do it first, and then you know after. Like, if let's say a Lamborghini, because we were talking about that earlier, I think it's a program desire for most people. Like, let's say it's a program desire. You get the Lamborghini, this is great. It'll fade very quickly because it's a program desire, but now you know it's a program desire, and then you can find the desire you actually want. Maybe that Lamborghini was cool, but you wanted the money to actually start a family, and that's it for you. But like, if that actually is a real desire, you'll love it more, and you'll know you'll love it, and you'll probably get a fleet of supercars because that's what you love. And how do you find it out? You just have to start doing it, because like, once you start, the path appears. And then like, starting is like 0 to 1. We can use so many different concepts from so many different books, from so many different quotes, from so many different people to prove the point that you really just have to start.
And I have to say this, because since we are talking about AI too, and that is part of your app, let's make a full circle with this thought I'm going to toss back to you. And that is, when you think about AI, I mean, we said it like a repeated loop on your favorite song. It's limited based on what you're thinking in the moment. So in other words, if you treat it like a genie and gave it the most basic prompt and say, I want you to give me all these grocery bags and enter. That's so boring. It might say, what else? Like, what is your imagination? That was so bland. I don't even know if I should just suggest you to go to this local grocery store and collect bags. Now, if you flip it and you gave it a purpose and say, I am thinking about doing a big event to help those who need food. I need you to suggest to me what I should put in these grocery bags. voila. Now you just open the gates to something that's totally different. What's your take on that? Because whatever you are creative in your approach in anything, you don't have to be AI. It can just be like you brainstorming what you want to do in the next 5 years. Until you actually be specific, but not too bland, you're just going to have this frustration of
it's not working. It's like, why is this not working? I don't know why it's not working. Well, it's not working because you know what you want. It's like, because again, like how do you get what you want? You first have to figure out what you want, and then you figure out how to get there. And AI is just a multiplier to get there. So let's say I give it, tell me something, find me a restaurant. Okay, it finds me a restaurant. The result sucks because I put nothing into it. But if I actually describe what I want, it's like, find me, I'm looking for this. I want steak. Then it'll find me a steak restaurant. Okay, well, I'm having lunch with my mom. She likes this. I like this. Here's our profiles. Then it can further give an answer based on that. Or it's like, and then the more and more you go, it's like, well, then it gives you a suggestion. It's like, well, I like this steakhouse, but I've been here before. Do you have any other suggestions? You can go back and forth over and over again. You just kind of amplify your results. And then it learns from you. You learn from it, and just creates a nice little upward spiral. So like, yeah, like AI, it's you get what you put in. Like, so some of my best use cases for AI aren't even have to do with work. Like, yes, it's super helpful. Like, because I'm creating videos with AI, so you have to learn to prompt it really well. And when you're prompting a video, specifically with AI, you have to be very specific. You have to be very detailed. You have to really put effort into prompting it. But like, some of my best use cases, like, I'm like, give me like a 30-day itinerary class that takes me 30 minutes a day on the greatest philosophers in the world. And it gave me that result, and it helped me a lot. So, because I put in what I knew what I wanted. I'm like, oh, I want to learn. AI can help me learn. It can do it in an efficient way, and it's helped me that way. So like, AI, you get what you put in, it learns from you. So if you suck at AI, it means you have it's an opportunity for you to improve in those areas, or at least try harder.
It's also, it keeps refining what your idea is. So think of your idea like a lump of clay. All right, say you just are terrible. Like, I'll raise my hand first. If you ask me to make some kind of statue or some kind of sculpture or whatever, probably gonna laugh, because the struggle is real when it comes to my ability to shape clay. But in the same thought, if you use AI to give you suggestions, I want you to think in the perspective of someone who's been working with clay for the past 30 years. They made it their career. Yeah. Give me some advice how I should do X, Y, Z. So you give them the idea you want to scope with that clay, but it's not shallow. It's actually detailed. You're asking AI to use the supercomputer of all the data it has access to give you some idea based on a person who has spent their professional life over 30 years in sculpting clay. That's where you start to really polish up these ideas. But what me and you were saying is about connection. It's more than just these prompts. The real question should be, what are you trying to do? Like, what is the theme of your vision? Because I understand it's super hard to kind of detail out the end result of what you hope to be in your career or your business or whatever. And some might argue different, but that's just my humble opinion. I think it's really hard to define the end if you're not there yet in time. If you have a different approach, like a person selling the show, having the idea of 1% better every day, now you can have the perspective of, there's a lot of stuff I don't know when it comes to scoping that clay. There's a lot of stuff I don't know about running this type of business or networking with this type of people or whatever. Like, when you start asking more questions, you receive more information versus when you just put some shallow blanket statement out there. And all of a sudden you're like, what's going on? Why am I not getting what I want? Well,
you're not getting what you want because you're not giving what you want. It's a mirror, remember? So you get what you give, like everything. You give AI good prompts, you give it good effort, it gives you good responses with people. You do good for them, they do good for you, great. You wish people well, they wish you well. So like, I think the theme is like, you just get what you give. The more you give, the better you get.
I can't believe this time is like almost gone. But when you think about your own progress with technology, because when it comes to all the entrepreneurship that you've been able to experience, what do you believe has been the biggest growth for you on your business and launching startups? Because it's easy to post on social media your plans. And this is what I'm going to do next year. And this is the new day, new me. But it's totally different when you're actually in the field and you got battle wounds and you survive those wounds and you're living it. Because tell us a little bit about that journey for you.
Yeah, so I'll give you three different moments, and they all have three different values because that was at different points in my life. The first big moment for me was I had a 9 to 5 consulting job. It was great. I mean, by all standards, like a great job, paid well, cool clients, lots of travel, the whole job, but it didn't align with me. So I quit that job without a plan. And I was kind of scared. I'm like, I don't really have money. What should I do? So I quit that job, but I faith myself it was going to work itself out. I knew I wanted to work in cryptocurrency. So that led me to found the original Shop Expo team. That was a while ago. And that led me to a different startup, which was in an incubator. An incubator is essentially startup school. So like it was one of the best incubators in the world. So at a young age, I was surrounded by so many CEOs, so many CTOs on different levels and different verticals at different companies. And I learned as much as I possibly could from that environment. So as like you do, I know this is how you do it, but like you're just absorbing information like crazy. I was also absorbing information like crazy. So I think that was the biggest boost my career could have ever gotten. Just meeting all these different types of people doing different cool things. It opened my eyes up. And I would say the third and final boost that I got was attending a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat in Joshua Tree, California. So that was a spiritual thing. That was one of the best things I personally ever done, one of the most impactful experiences that I've ever personally done. And it resulted with me with a positive mind. So like now I wake up in the world, I'm like, I meditate every day, whatever, if you like it, it doesn't really matter. But like I go around the world wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness and trying to help people. And like that vibrational thing you were talking about earlier, now that's my mindset. I mean, I've obviously I'm human, so sometimes it falls, sometimes it elevates, but that's the base. But now I'm in the world wishing everyone peace, love, and happiness. And that's resulted in the vast majority of people wishing me peace, love, and happiness. And not only from a spiritual perspective, that's good. From a social perspective, that's good. But from a business perspective, that's good. It's like I'll do anything I can to help you. And I think you'll do anything I can to help you. And that's because we're all in a similar frequency. And that's what the Vipassana meditation retreat was able to help me learn that I already had.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to what you said earlier in the interview when you mentioned about radio. Like when you tune into a radio station, it's on obviously a certain frequency, right? So what I want to say to that, I'm gonna land the plane, I promise, is you can only tune in and hear what's going on once you're on that station. So if you can't hear your favorite show or your favorite song or listen to what makes you excited and appreciate this station, right? It's because you tune into the wrong one. I'm not trying to have a mind-blown moment, but it's like maybe we had to stop worrying about what is not working and start questioning, what can I do to change this? Because when you start thinking from that perspective, now you're taking all the weights off of this, like, okay, everyone's out to get me and no one ever supports me and no one ever cares about what I do and what I bring to the table. And here's the sad part. That could be very true. But you always turn to a different station. You don't have to keep playing that sad song. I mean, if that song makes you like want to go, crawl up a wall like Spider-Man, then it's probably time to change what you are allowing to feed off of. Because until you actually shift from what you don't like no more or what doesn't serve you, it's always going to be it's going to be school of hard knocks. Then you won't ever graduate because you keep flunking the tests.
Yeah, crushed it. It's 100% right. Like, you got to learn your lesson.
So, man, it's been a great episode. If those are listening and they want to learn more about your app, tell us how can we find it, man? Because I think what you're doing is not just innovation. I think is outside the box type thinking. And I'm sure people are going to get a kick out of this app when they check it out.
Yeah, I mean, the best way to learn about the app is to actually try it yourself. So just go to the Apple Store and search DATAING.io. And I mean, it's a dating app right now, but you can match with friends, you can match with current partners, and we're expanding it to be a connecting app anyway. So check it out if you want to, and if you like it, that's great.
Well, like always, want to say to our guests, not just taking time out today, Eric, but like always, want to say thank you for what you do in this world because it's people like you that make sparks happen. And if it wasn't people like you, we all be bored out of our minds. So I appreciate
People,
the good work.
people like us, because you're crushing it too. Like you're I'm super blessed. You're awesome, dude.
Awesome. And like always, man, thank you for your time, man. Have a good one.
Later.